We have a gun. We also have a ship that has been sailing in the mighty oceans all the way to Spycake's terminal. What are we going to do today? Well, we're going to go ahead and fill this thing with diesel. At least the amount of diesel that is in here, which I don't believe is actually very much. 5,000 liters? Yes. We're going to go ahead and steal this and put it into our boat. That's essentially all we need to do. We're then going to go ahead and sail it back. And I think we're going to start working on something else. I'd like to use my helicopter and stuff still, but unfortunately that's not really the case, or not really possible right now, because I don't think I have all of the pieces that we need for our helicopter. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. So, yeah. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and steal all of this diesel. We're then going to travel all the way back to our base, and we'll figure out what we're going to do from there. There are lots of enemies in Stormworks, from Navy ships to helicopters armed with rockets, and even some tanks. It is our goal to eradicate those enemies from the world. Welcome to Stormworks Search and Destroy. Alright, I'm not actually going to take all of the diesel. We will leave about 1,000 liters here. I feel like that makes sense. I did drop my gun, and unfortunately, I think my gun is now under the ground. Because Stormworks is great. Am I right? I'm wrong. Let's go! Okay, so hopefully we can go in reverse. Please? Oh my goodness. Okay. Right, that's a little scary. That was a little scary, but we're good. Okay. Okay, hopefully we can get out of here without any damage. I have a feeling, though, we are going to sustain some. Maybe. Alright, we sustained some damage, but we're actually okay. So, let's go ahead and set our destination back down to our base. There we go. And just head out in that direction, and we'll be fine. Yeah. Alright guys, so whilst we're on our way over to our base, as you guys can probably hear in the background, I wanted to have a little look for a small supply ship. Now, I need something like this in order to do certain missions. And when I say certain missions, there are a few where we have to move containers, there are a few where we have to, I don't know, pick stuff up from the bottom of the ocean, and a small supply ship would actually work very, very, very well for that. So I'm thinking we actually build one. Now, I don't want it to be huge like some of them that we've built in the past. In fact, that one right there is literally mine. We don't want to build any of those. Oh, that one's mine too. We want to build something small, kind of like this. So I'm thinking we build this. We build something very similar to this. It needs to have bow thrusters, maybe even stern thrusters as well, so we can actually like go side to side at the back. And it's just going to be small. I feel like that makes sense. And then maybe a crane over the back that we can lean over and lift things up and put them on the deck. I feel like that is a good idea. So we'll probably get to it. Okay, so we finally made it back home, which means that hopefully I can return this to the workbench. And if we go this way, hopefully we've got a bunch of diesel. Yes! 8,000 diesel. Very nice. So yeah, I suppose if we go back into here, we click new vehicle. We have 45,000, almost 46,000, in order to actually build a small supply ship. I want to do it. I want to do it. Hopefully we can make something look nice. Okay, so to start out with, we're going to go ahead and build something the size of one container. So 28, there we go. It's 29 altogether because of the extra block on the end. Let's go ahead and paint that orange there, and in fact, actually, we'll do an extra one on each side, I guess. So one here and one here. I only really want to be able to carry one anyway, so that's fine. Yellow and yellow. They're then 11 wide, so we're going to go with this on both sides. We're going to go out by 6. Yeah, 6. I know it's pretty weird, or a little bit weird, but essentially this is the corner point. We're then going to do the same thing down here, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. And we're going to paint all of those in too. And essentially this is around the outside of the container. There we go. Send it down there. We're going to go ahead and paint these pieces in as well, if we can. Hopefully this matches. If it doesn't, we might have some issues. It does! Hey, there we go. So the container will be mounted directly into the center of here. Let's go ahead and do this. Ah, yeah. Bit weird, but I'm sure it'll be fine. We're then going to go ahead and flip this over and do this down here as well. Except from in the corners, where we're going to need some connectors. Which is just these guys. Bosh that onto there. Excellent. Bosh it onto there. Very nice. Every other one of these is going to be black, or at least dark grey, because that will make it look nicer as well. So we'll just go ahead and do this all the way down the sides. Awesome. Yes. And all the way over here as well. Great. Yeah, there we go. So this is where our container will be stored. You know what, actually? I've built ships, like supply ships, for a long time. What if we don't do it this time? What if we build something else? Something weird. I think that would be kind of cool. So, let's try and do it. We're going to need tracks. Do I actually have those unlocked yet? I do. Kind of want to use the big ones, but I guess we could use the little ones. Essentially, we're going to have a track go all the way across this. From the back to the front, or whatever. It doesn't really matter. We're going to shove that onto there. We're going to have the actual ship thing be a little bit bigger than this. So let's go at least 3. There we go. I don't know whether we need an extra one on the side. I guess we probably do. So I'm going to do this. And then from there, we can actually go upwards. So let's do this. And there we go. It's a bit weird, but I'm sure it'll work out fine. We're then going to go backwards from there and do that. Okay. This is alright so far. It will change. Okay, so, how tall is a container? Well, a container's probably around 11 tall as well, so let's go ahead and shove this to 11, which is actually quite high. There we go. We're going to shove this across here, and, oh, we actually need, some pivots for that. We do. So I'm actually going to go ahead and shove this guy onto the side, deleting this, get ourselves a pivot really quickly, just one of these guys, and shove it onto there like this. We're then going to attach this guy onto here, and that's fine. If we can, we're then going to go to the top corner, down to here, and we're going to cut it. We're going to then paste it in. We're going to merge this with this, this with this, and this with this, and there we go. Awesome. Alright, so the next step is to actually figure out what kind of shape we need this to be. I'm going to go with 2 of those. We're then going to bend it around probably just once more with this. You know what, actually, let's not do it that way. Let's do 2 of these instead. We'll then move it to one of these guys, and we'll send that across. But I'll send it across like this, I think. Yes. So we're actually going to have it like angled down slightly. It looks a little bit strange, but I'm sure it'll be fine. We're then going to do this all the way across here. I'm going to have to grab one of these and delete all of this to the back. We're then going to copy this from the back to the front, and we'll have it be the same on both sides. I'm then going to do this guy as well. There we go. Excellent. That's pretty awesome. Yes. We're then going to go ahead and obviously do the inside backwards a little bit like this. And that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and do the next bit on the other side. I'm essentially going to copy and paste this piece to that side, and it'll look pretty cool. Awesome. Maybe. Okay, this is already bigger than what I was expecting to be building, I'm not gonna lie, but it should be fine. So, from here, we need it to be able to float, so let's do something crazy. Let's go with literally one of these guys. We're gonna poke it down, and I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, it's gonna be really tall. Sort of, anyway. This will allow it to be buoyant enough to actually carry a container. And I think that's just sort of what we need. So just keep moving this backwards to there. We're then obviously going to go with one of these guys. Shove that onto here like this. And we're going to go across like that. There we go. We're then going to go to the other side and do the same thing. Because that's kind of what we need. So shove that on there. Very good. We're going to shove a 4x4 pyramid onto here like this. Very nice. And then we're going to build it all in. Yes. All right, shove that onto there, do it across. One of these guys finally right here. Bosh. That is pretty awesome. Yeah. It doesn't look like particularly cool, but I kind of like it. We're also maybe going to add a ramp to this as well, just in case we need to like drag things on via a ramp. I don't know why we would need to do that, but we could. All right, I'm then going to go ahead and flatten out this backside right here so that we can actually have a flat-bottomed boat. A flat-bottom boat, yep, that makes sense. Right, shove that onto there. We're going to send this across here, just like so. And we're going to attach all of this on the sides, just like this. And we're obviously going to fix it all in at this side. We're then going to fill the inside with stuff like this, so that we are more buoyant. Although we are going to have to add an engine into here, So we might have to change this slightly. Just so that we can actually walk when we come down here. Yeah, that would make sense. That would make a lot of sense, actually. Maybe we don't need to do that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and build all of this in anyway, because we might as well. There we go. We just need to check its buoyancy before we do pretty much anything else. Right, shove all of that to there. There we go. Shove this to here, and this one, kind of. There we go. And then I'll build all the rest of it in, and hopefully that'll look good. Maybe. Alright, so I've actually turned it around. I've painted the bottom side in this, like, nice grey. I actually really like the look of this so far. It's looking pretty cool. And, yeah, we now need an actual bridge. Now, if you guys haven't seen things like this before, you will not know that the bridge could actually go above. So, we're actually going to have quite a lot of weight dangling up here. But that's kind of what I want. It's only going to be a wheelhouse, sort of for, like, one person. But hopefully that'll be pretty cool. Alright, so I'm thinking we use a ladder to actually climb up there, so it's going to have to be higher than this, because obviously that is going to be where the floor is, if that makes sense. Deleting this here, no, is that level with this? Hang on. Yeah, alright, we need it to be one higher. One higher, so put this guy on top of there like that, delete this guy, shove this across from there to there, and that is where the bridge is going to go. So shove this guy from here to here. Excellent. Delete the bit in the center, because obviously otherwise we can't get up the stairs, or the ladders. And that's all good. Yes. We're then going to obviously build around it. Sort of. So put that in there. There we go. Excellent. And then we can do this from here across. Very nice. And it doesn't really have to be very big. I just need it to be up there, if that makes sense. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and change the front side to be a little bit different. I'm actually going to delete these guys, and I'm going to do this. There we go. And the rear side is actually going to stay somewhat as is, although I am going to add this guy maybe, and I'm going to do this. There we go. So we'll have like a little bit of a walking area up there, and that'll be fine. The next thing that I want to do is shove this from here downwards. That would be awesome. And the same thing from here downwards too. There we go. Just so that I can actually tie them down to the floor would be great. There we go. And there we go. Okay. I'm then going to attach these guys together. And I'm going to attach them down to the floor. Or the wall. Like this. There we go. Okay, cool. So far that is very, very weird looking. But kind of awesome. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and go to sleep. There we go. Just to daytime. So that we can actually see what this currently looks like. So obviously one container could fit right here in the center. If I wanted to, I could extend it and make it bigger. But the likelihood of us having to do missions where we do more than that is kind of unlikely, so I'm happy with this. We now need to build a mini bridge up there. We then need to install engines and some other random details around this thing as well. Possibly a ramp on the front and the back. I'm not sure how that's going to go though. Alright, so one thing that I do want to do is I want to delete every other piece of this. There we go, because I think that'll look better. We're then going to go for a pipe, and I'm just going to attach all of these guys together with a pipe. Bosh. Okay, that's good, and that's good too. That actually looks pretty awesome. Yeah, it's looking kind of weird, but kind of cool. I might actually do the same thing I've done at the back on the front, just to have this bit be a little bit more symmetrical. But it doesn't need it. It doesn't need it. Okay, so this is where we are currently at. It looks a little bit strange. In fact, it looks very, very strange. Obviously, it kind of looks like it should be longer. The issue is, obviously, it has to be that high because that's how high the container is going to be if we are ever to put a container on here, which kind of sucks a little bit, actually. But honestly, if we need to use it, we can totally use it. So there you go. We can then climb upstairs. We can go inside of here. We're going to have a control on this side, which is this guy. And then if we run to the back, we're going to have it automatically change to reverse gear. And then we can actually drive it from back here as well. I feel like that's kind of a cool idea. I couldn't help myself. I could not help myself. I feel like it just looks better with it being longer. And now we can actually carry two containers at once, which I feel like makes sense anyway. So, yeah, I've gone ahead and extended it. I've moved this to more of the center. And overall, I think it looks pretty nice. We are going to have to add some, like, thrusters everywhere in order for this thing to be, like, efficient, I suppose. But yeah, what do you guys... Okay, I'm gonna have to modify those. I can't have it be doing that. No way. I hate the fact that that happens. If you stand on the back of a 1x4, it actually goes crazy and lets you fall through them. So we're gonna go ahead and replace that with normal blocks. There we go. Just so that, you know, if we're in the middle of a mission or whatever, we don't just die. So that's all good now. We still need to add, obviously, engines to this thing. We still need to add the actual thrusters. It's going to need lights and stuff like that. Yeah, it is. Maybe we shove the engines in now. Okay, so I'm going to shove the engines very close to the center of this thing. In fact, I'm going to try and build a little tiny room in between here and... I was going to say in between here and here, but actually that is very small. Bigger room. Bigger room. We're going to go from here. There we go. We're going to have to delete the batteries and build new ones, but that's fine. And we're going to have an actual room down here. I feel like that just makes sense. So do that all the way across. We're going to go to the underside, and I'm going to delete all of these. And we're going to fill that in with an actual thingamabobby. Good. We're then going to go to this side, and we're going to do the same thing here as well. So delete that all the way across. Fill it in with a new one. And that's all good. I'm then going to delete these guys. I'm going to shove that in. And I'm actually going to go and delete the entire floor. And shove this in here as well. We're then obviously going to have to use one of these guys. So let's go ahead and do that. Bosh. And I'm going to go ahead and paint it. Bosh, bosh. There we go. And that's all good. So now if we can get down into this room, we're going to have to crouch when we're down there. We should be able to get to the engines to repair them. If necessary, that is. If necessary. I'm also going to have to delete all of these guys. There we go. Shove this in here. If possible. Shove that in there as well. We're then going to do this bit as well. So across there. We're going to fill this bit in. And we're going to make sure the top is painted correctly. There we go. There we go. There we go. And that is awesome. Yeah. I think this will be fine. Okay, so these engines are going to be pretty big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 24 cylinders, I believe we have. Is that right? No. Wait, is that wrong? How many do we have? No, it's 32, right? Because I've got this side as well. Yeah, okay, 32 cylinders. Sure. So we got 32. I've obviously attached them together. We've got a starter on the top, starter on the bottom as well. I'm actually going to add another starter. These are pretty big engines. So that's all good. We're then going to obviously have to add cooling to this. We're going to have to add air and fuel and also exhaust. Now, I do kind of want to have an exhaust pipe somewhere on here, but I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to put it. It's kind of annoying, actually. I honestly think if I can squeeze a little one into here, I'm actually just going to go and shove it there. So let's go and do this on both of these pieces. I'm going to do this guy going up and backwards from there. Going to do this guy as well. And this guy, yes. Obviously delete these ones as we go. And we're going to fill it in just like this. There we go. It's not going to be huge. Not by any means, but as long as we can get exhaust up and out, that is sort of all that matters. Plumb that piece into there, grab ourselves a fluid port, and shove it straight into there like that. Yeah, I mean, I guess that works out fine. We should still be able to get round it, as long as this isn't in the way. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, I thought this might look a little bit strange, and honestly, it sort of does. Right here, I've added a pipe all the way to the top where the cab is for the air inlets on both engines. So there's one on this side, and there's one on this side. The main reason for that is because obviously if water gets in where the air needs to go in, you end up having some serious issues. Now, it doesn't really have to be that high, but the further away from the water, the better, honestly. So I'm happy with that. Cooling is going to be done like this. We've got a pump going up and pumping water in. We're then going to go through the manifold and straight back out and into the water again. Honestly, that should work out fine. The exhaust is already getting piped out up to here, so that'll go out of there. We do have catalytic converters there, though, so you won't really see it. Other than that, we now need to attach a fuel tank, or we need to build a fuel tank, somewhere in here. Now, I kind of don't mind the idea of it going through the center. However, maybe we need 2 fuel tanks. I want to be able to walk around in this room, and if I build the fuel tank through the center, we're not going to be able to do that. So maybe 2 separate engine rooms would work. Also, these engines are tiny compared to this actual craft, but I'm hoping they work anyway. Okay, so, obviously, this is it in the water. This is actually it with diesel. Well, not diesel. It's actually seawater, filling up the tank on the inside. I want to go ahead and check how much is actually in there, so I'm going to jump across. We need to add some ladders. We need to add some ropes across the outside as well, and stuff like that. So that is the next thing I'm going to do. But first, I need to jump on board, and I want to check. Come on, let me up. What the balls? Where am I? What is happening? I think if I can get onto this ladder, then we'll be good. There we go. I don't know why that ladder's there. Oh, because I copied and pasted it forwards. I'm going to delete that. Anyway, dial says 0. What? Oh, because I haven't connected it. That's why. Dial literally says 0 because there's, yeah, 0. Right, sure. Anyway, now that I've remembered, delete this guy and shove that across there. Awesome. All right. It should be easy enough to get on board, as long as we just use these ladders. As long as we can see the ladder, we can jump on the ladder. Come on, here we go. No? Or maybe I do actually have to be facing the front of these ladders? Interesting, I didn't think that would be the case. Jump up! Oh, yeah, okay, well, we can't be getting onto it like this every time. There's no way. Right, so the dial says 9,000... We're going to go with 9,000. 9,500 max. There we go. Alright, cool. Good. That's attached to there. Awesome. Let's go ahead and connect onto this. And we're going to say diesel. Yes. We now need to work on the drive lines. So let's go to this and add some drive lines. But first, I want to go to here. I want to delete these pieces. I need a hatch so that we can actually get into there. There we go. So that's going to go there. We're going to paint this like that. I'm going to get a ladder, and I'm going to chuck the ladder onto here. One ladder there, and one ladder, unfortunately, here. And it's a bit of a weird one. There we go. Paint this piece in. Very nice. I'm actually just going to go ahead and do this on the back of the ladder. And that's A-okay. Yes. Alright, cool. So we can actually get down to each of the engine rooms via these hatches right here. That works. Okay, so I've added diesel, I've added a way to move it around now. Let's go ahead and see if I can at least go forwards and backwards. These are the only props that we have, and, well, one of them's not in the water. Clearly, that is a bit of an issue, but let's go ahead and try and jump on board again. Okay. Jumping on board this thing has not worked out just yet. Like, not even once. I'm going to jump on from the back. There we go. Let's just see if we can drive it at least forwards a little bit and backwards a little bit, and then I'm going to be happy. So in order to start the engines, we do this and this. In order to throttle up, we do this. Or this. Ah, it works on that one. Alright, I need to sort that out. And then to clutch up, we do this. Okay. We got no steering right now, but that totally works. Awesome. Okay, and then if we want to go in reverse, we just jump into this seat. And it shoves it in reverse. Yeah, very nice. That actually totally works then. I'm very happy with that. So we are going to add a lot more detail to this, obviously. We are also going to have to add some rudders, because clearly right now we don't have any. We're also going to maybe have to weigh it down a little bit, just so it's a little bit lower in the water, so that both of these propellers can work. Or we just lower this down to here, and we actually have 3 instead. That would work very, very nicely too. But, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, for now, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed whatever the heck this was. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this boat, whether we should add ramps or not. And, yeah, I guess I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.